Hello, everybody. It's Ned here, and yeah, this is my top 10 just 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures. And for this top 10, it can be basically any fucking 3 3/4 inch Star Wars line, Saga Legends, Powered Force, anything like that. Clone Wars, TVC, uh, the 3 3/4 inch Black Series, anything like that. But this is my top 10 though, and yeah, because Star Wars is one of them things where it's like I love a lot, and yeah. And there's not a huge Star Wars collection in my collection, but there's enough where there's a top 10. And yeah. And there's some figures I wish that could be on this top 10 that might be on this top 10 eventually. But yeah. And what you see right now on screen is number 10. Number 10 is one of my toy grails. It's a reissue, but it's still an old mold either way. And yeah, it's the Old Republic TVC Shae Vizsla. I like this a lot. I love Mandalorians. I love this a lot. I love Shae Vizsla as a character. I love her armor too. But one, I think mine's an error with the paint a little bit because if you look at the abdomen right there, yeah, the abdomen, like the armor looks not painted right on the abdomen, which, oh well. Oh no, I don't care. And two, uh, the trigger fingers don't like to actually be inside the triggers, which I mean a little bit of heat or whatever. There you fucking go. And three, she kind of she doesn't stand well per se. Could she have better hips? She could, but I don't mind because I still like this figure, and plus it was a gift from a family member, so yeah. Yeah. It kind of sucks too because she has the badass flamethrower effects too, and she kind of just can't really stand unless it's like on a base with them flamethrower effects, which fucking suck. But overall, I do love the Shae Vizsla still. I really do. I love the design. I love the paint when it's not the shitty paint. The jetpack also is pretty great too. And yeah, just number 10 is Shae Vizsla. I love this Shae Vizsla. Number 9 is a ARC Trooper, and it's a clone. It's the Lambent Seeker, right? Why the fuck do I love the Lambent Seeker? Because this mold is pretty alright, and I really like the design of the Lambent Seeker. It's one of them ARC Troopers where I feel like it could be an ARC Trooper for Quinlan Voss or Kit Fisto or one of them kind of Jedi. And he's always in my display kind of being that ARC Trooper for Quinlan Voss or Kit Fisto, which the old TVC Kit Fisto, honorable mention by the way, honorable mention. But yeah, I just love the details of it. I love that it's its own clone trooper. And it's basically it's whatever your imagination is for it, because it's just a game clone trooper. It's just from the EA Battlefront 2. There's no real story behind this fucking clone trooper. It's what you want it to be, and I like it a lot. I love the armor. I love the face, even though it's just Fives' face. I love the helmet. I love how the rangefinder can go down on the helmet. It's so nice. It's so cool. The only issue I have with this toy is the DC-17 pistols. They're so fucking tiny. So tiny that they don't even fit in the holsters, which is bullshit. But besides that, and as you can see right there, it's so tiny that he doesn't even like to hold them half the fucking time. But besides that, yeah, that's number 9, the Lambent Seeker. Number 8 is some Rebels love. And yeah, this is the I think 2024 TVC Kanan Jarrus. Yeah, I like Kanan as a character, and I think back in the day for the not TVC, the 3 3/4 inch Black Series, not the 6 inch, but again the 3 3/4 inch one, there was meant to be a Kanan Jarrus in this size, but like they canceled it or whatever. Same with the Grand Inquisitor, which sucks, but that's whatever because this is way better. And yeah, I love this though. I think it's very great. It is very great. Now, there is, at least of mine, there's a lot of QC issues. Well, some QC issues. In my review, I bitched about, how the eyebrows is not fully painted, and then there's a fucking Obi-Wan mole on the forehead. And then he got, like, there's somehow, like, from, like, the creators or whatever, like, a speck of paint right there. From Sabine, probably now. That's just Sabine got paint on him. Yeah, that's whatever. But besides that, the articulation's so nice. I really hope they visit the Season 3 design of Kanan. And for that, they should really just, for Season 3 and 4 for Kanan, for that main design, they really should just, there should be alternate heads, and there should just, there's a lot for that design they could do. But for the Season 1 design, and Season 2, technically, if you really want to customize that shoulder pad, Hasbro will probably just put Season 2 Kanan in a fucking 3 or 4 pack and be like, hey, here's Season 4 with, like, a exclusive figure that's so good, but you have to get, like, 3 shitty fucking figures or whatever, which is bullshit. But yeah. It's such a nice figure, this Kanan is. It really is. And I love it so much, that's why it's number 8. Up, and you failed, bitch. Number 7's another modern TVC figure, and it's the Mandalorian armor. It's Cobb Vanth in the fucking Boba Fett armor. I love this figure a lot. I love the design. I love Cobb Vanth as a character. I just love the feel and vibes of it. And this is definitely one of the figures where it's like, even as the character of Cobb Vanth, as I said in my review of this toy, nobody would probably care unless they're fans of either Cobb Vanth, which would not be that many, fans of The Mandalorian, or fans of just Mandalorians as a whole and sees this as a badass Mandalorian toy. If this was Cobb Vanth without the armor, nobody would fucking care. But with the armor, this is a good Cobb Vanth toy. The details are nice. I love the helmet. I love the backpack. I love the weapons. The face is a little too toy for, a 2024 figure, especially next to the Kanan. It is, but I still like it a lot. I love this Cobb Vanth. It's just such a nice figure. It's one of my favorite figures, hence why it's on this top 10. But yeah, it's nice. I highly still recommend it. And again, the detail too has like the mithril on the shoulder too. I mean, it's Boba, so yeah. But yeah, man, it's number 7. Hence why I love it so much. Number 6 is another Toy Grail, and it's another reissue of a Toy Grail, and that's the old TVC, though this is the modern reissue of the old TVC, but it's the TVC Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars, specifically like the Season 3 to Season 5 design. And I think even like Season 6 for that cameo. So yeah. Yeah, I love this so much. And I hope they reissue the Clone Wars Anakin and Kenobi for TVC, and they finally have that fucking Phase 1 Captain Rex and TVC that they canceled years ago. That would be so great. But I love this Ahsoka. This Ahsoka is so good. And it's one of them old TVC figures that holds up to this day. And I love it so much because of that. Like, is the articulation on the hips, that good? They're okay. They're good for Ahsoka. I think they're alright. That face sculpting is so good too. One of the lightsabers that's not ignited, my OG Clone Wars Ahsoka wields unignited, but it's just such a nice figure. It's so detailed. And out of the 3 Ahsokas in my collection, being this, the actual Ahsoka TV series, TVC Ahsoka, which is also very great. Shout out to that figure. And the old Clone Wars Ahsoka Tano. This is my favorite still. This is my favorite. What I like the Mandalorian, what I like the Mandalore Ahsoka from like Season 7 in my collection. Eventually. Because that's a pretty nice design, but this is my Ahsoka. This is my Ahsoka Tano, and it's nice. It's nice. There's a reason why these old TVC Clone Wars figures are, which they need to create even more Clone Wars characters in TVC, because we got like Wolf, we finally got a Phase 2 Gregor, yeah. Like Ventress would be great, but yeah, that's enough of this tangent. Let's go ahead and go to number 5. Why is this bitch here? Why is she even higher than Ahsoka? Yeah, it's the TVC Luminara Unduli. It's a reissue, but it's also technically a repaint. It was in that Tartakovsky wave of TVC figures a while back. I love it a lot. Of all the Tartakovsky Jedi in that wave for TVC between Ayla, Barriss, and Luminara is my favorite. And out of all the characters, Luminara is my favorite character too. And Luminara is such a stuck-up bitch of a character. And yeah, not everybody likes Luminara. I like Luminara though. In fact, I like a character that's even more of a stuck-up bitch than what Luminara is. That makes Luminara look like a fucking saint, being Anya Kuro, the Dark Woman. So I like Luminara. I like Luminara's whole bitch personality, too, because most Jedi in Star Wars that we see, right, they're always like, your Anakins, or your Kit Fistos, or your Kenobis, or your fucking, they're never like Luminara. They're very rarely a stuck-up bitch. And there's Pong Krell, he's a piece of shit Jedi. Yeah, Pong Krell is. Luminara, she's just a stuck-up bitch. But she's like Mace Windu, though, in that sense. And I like that a lot. And this figure, just the face, just right there, just the face, it's pure stuck-up bitch. I love that face. I love that you can, have her without this thingy. But I love the design. I love the Murialan race as a whole. The Murialans are pretty fucking sick. I love all the details. I love the Tartakovsky color palette more than I do the fucking she's wearing all black. I love this Luminara Unduli so much. And would it be nice if we had a modern version of Luminara with a new mold and everything? It would be nice. But for now, this is still a good Luminara Unduli. I love it so much because of that. And I love it so much that, yeah, she has a base. She has a temple base. So, yeah, I love that Luminara that much. That's why she's number 5. And number 4 is a gift from my father. It is the TVC Paz Vizsla. Yeah, I love this Paz Vizsla. I love Paz Vizsla as a character. I love Paz Vizsla's design. I love big, heavy fucking just characters as a whole. Like, I love Hound. I love Hound from AoE. I love Heavy from the Clone Wars. Heavy's fucking great. I love Heavy from TF2. I love heavy characters. Heavy characters are one of my favorite kinds. I love Rock and Roll from G.I. Joe, and I'm not even a fan of G.I. Joe, but I love Rock and Roll. Yeah, I love fucking heavy characters. And Paz Vizsla is one of my favorite heavy characters. Fuck, one of my favorite Gundams is the Former Gundam. But I love this Paz Vizsla. I love the design, as I said. I love how it's like every other Mandalorian always look like a more traditional Mandalorian, right? And then Paz Vizsla, he's just like... He's so industrial feeling. I love that so much about Paz Vizsla. He just feels so industrial. And even with his jetpack, it's so industrial. And I love that so much. I love his helmet too, how it's just so unique. And then again, he's played by the same character that played pre-Vizsla. So yeah, there's that. And I love this Paz Vizsla, man. I love this Paz Vizsla. It's funny, it's like we have Shae Vizsla as number 10, and then as a number 4, we have literally Paz Vizsla. Yeah, love this Paz Vizsla, man. Very great figure. If there's like out of any figure here besides number 2 that I highly recommend for a modern TVC figure, definitely this Paz. But yeah, he's number 4. Number 3 is, it's the 2003 Clone Wars Dirge from that toy line. And, yeah, I love this Dirge. He came with a sweep bike. I love his sweep bike. I just love his overall badass feel. And for 2003, is the figure perfect to modern figures? No. But the figure is so goddamn good for 2003. And I love this Dirge. I love the bike. I love the fucking feel. I love Dirge as a character. This is just badass. This is badass. I love him so much. Oh man, I love this Dirge. I love him so much. And it's just Dirge is one of them characters too. We might see a new TVC version someday, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Because if that were to ever happen, it would probably be very fucking rare. Because the only like Legends characters from like say the Tartakovsky shit as a whole, even though Dirge wasn't just in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, but was like that we see of recent modern times was like, oh, just repaints. That's it. Literally, there's all fucking repaints. But this Dirge, it holds up so well. And there's only been 2 versions of Dirge in this mold. I think this is the only mold toy that we have of Dirge for 3 3/4 inch. Yeah. This Dirge is fucking hell on wheels, or hover on wheels. And I love it so much. Like, when I first played with this, too, it surprised me with how fucking good this goddamn Dirge toy is. And I highly recommend this. If you love badass characters, if you love badass just designs, if you just love cool toys, this Dirge is definitely one of them. Like, out of all of them, this is out of every fucking figure here. This is the oldest figure here. And it holds up. It holds up better than what Shae Vizsla does. And that Shae Vizsla, it's great, but it definitely has flaws. Dirge has like 1 tiny flaw. That's it. Maybe 2 tiny flaws. That's it. But yeah, Dirge is number 3. Number 2 is the Bracca Mission Rex, or just Clone Wars Phase 2 Rex for TVC. And yeah, all these figures, but Dirge is basically TVC. But why the fuck do I love this? Oh, it's such a modern toy too. Why is this number 2? You know, there could have been any other toy that's like older or whatever that could have been number 2. Yeah, there could have been. There could have been Saga Legends of Boba Fett. There could have been the old Black Series 3 3/4 inch Clone Captain. There could have been Saga Legends Tartakovsky Anakin. There could have been just a lot. There could have been TVC Kit Fisto. But why is this number 2? Because this is the best fucking Captain Rex toy there has been up to modern times. The articulation is fucking perfect. Now, can this be annoying if you have Rex without the clone helmet on? It can, but you're always going to want Rex with the clone helmet on. Let's be real. You're always going to want Rex with his helmet on. And are the pistols annoying? Yeah, they're annoying. But besides that, it's great. It's great. He can pose great. Like, look at this shit. He can pose great. And as somebody who had the old Black Series 3 3/4 inch Rex that got reissued into the TVC not long ago too, before this was just created, that Rex is great, but for its time, but it's shit. It's shit compared to this Rex. That Rex is completely shit compared to this one. And that's why we need, like, for the Phase 1 Clone Trooper too. The Phase 1 Clone Trooper that was that they had not long ago also for not Black Series, TVC. It's basically like this mold too. It's that good. And they could totally remold that or repaint that and give it a Polygon and a comma and shit and just a new helmet. And boom, that could be fucking Phase 1 Captain Rex too. But this is so good. This is the best Captain Rex toy. And this needs repainted and remolded into more fucking clone commanders or captains and shit like that. Like, give us a Commander Fox in this mold for Phase 2. Give us a, he was ass, but give us a Commander Trauma. That'd be cool. Give us a fucking new Commander Doom in this mold. Like if they're gonna make new versions even of clones too. Commander Doom in this mold, that would be sick. Commander Thorn in this mold and actually have the rotary cannon. That would be sick. But if they were to do Commander Doom, they'd just probably do something similar to what they did with Paz Vizsla, so. But Commander Doom. Commander Bakara could be in this mold. There's so many good clones they could use this mold for. So many great fucking clones. And this Captain Rex, this mold opens up the door. Because everybody loves Rex. Everybody loves Captain Rex. Everybody loves Rex. And everybody's gonna, probably have this mold in their collection. And it is a great character, too, to introduce this mold to. And that's why this mold hits so hard, too, of being so good. And that's why I love it so much. That's why it's number 2. Because if we're gonna talk like the funnest toy to play with on this top 10, the funnest toy to play with, it's still that Captain Rex. It is still my favorite toy to play with out of every figure on this top 10. And yeah, that says a lot. That says a lot about this. That says a lot about this toy. And that's why it's number 2. That's why this Rex is number 2. And it is great. It is a legendary toy. It's the best Captain Rex. And number 1's the older TVC figure. It's a TVC figure that I feel like Hasbro really needs to just reissue. And that's the Phantom Menace Quinlan Vos. Yeah, the Phantom Menace Quinlan Vos. I love this toy. It is a toy grail. It's my number 1 Star Wars toy grail. I love this figure so much. It was a gift from my dear sweet father. And it's just so good, this Quinlan Vos's. And yeah, Quinlan Vos did nothing in the Phantom Menace. Yeah, Quinlan Vos didn't do shit in the Phantom Menace. But this toy doesn't have to just be a Phantom Menace Quinlan Vos. It really doesn't have to be. I love it so much. I love the details. I love the overall vibe of Quinlan Vos, even though Quinlan Vos is a racist to clone troopers or whatever. So yeah. I love how just Quinlan Vos, he's just like an Indian Jedi too. And I love The Dark Disciple. I love that novel. The Dark Disciple is a great novel too, and I'm pissed off that they scrapped that arc for the Clone Wars. Like, that pisses me off. Because honestly, like, out of everything for Season 7 of the Clone Wars, really quick, out of everything, we didn't need that shit with Ahsoka. We really did not need that shit with Ahsoka. We could have had, like, say, 1 episode. And Trace and Rafa, I don't like how they scrapped the one guy that was kind of like a Han Solo-esque character for Trace and Rafa. I do not like their characters. Their characters fucking suck and are annoying. But Quinlan Vos, though. Quinlan Vos is such a great character, too. And there should be more love for Quinlan Vos, too. Like, as somebody that doesn't even care for the Black Series, which I don't. I don't care for the Black Series. They should really create Quinlan Vos in the Black Series, too. And if they were to do that, fuck yeah. I would love that figure of Quinlan Vos. Like, Quinlan Vos is a great character, and this toy is such a great toy. And it's basically just any other Jedi mold for that time period or whatever. I mean, yeah. Yeah, kinda. I mean, it's a mold from 2011, 2010. But it's a good goddamn mold, and it holds up great. And Hasbro doesn't need to redo this figure. They could just not... Well, they can reissue this figure, but they don't need to recreate a new mold for Quinlan Vos. They could just use this mold again and reissue it. Maybe, I don't know, like, the face is perfect. I wouldn't even say use that photoreal fucking face technology. I'd just say leave it, just reissue it. This is perfect. I mean, this face is more realistic than Cobb Vanth's face. But yeah. This is my top 10. This top 10 could change eventually in the future. The ones that are still definitely going to stay on the top 10 for where they are, most likely, will definitely be number 1 through 5, maybe number 1 through 6, but number 7 to 10 could change eventually. There's a lot of figures that I would love in my Star Wars collection, too, still. Like, I would love a Clone Wars Phase 1 Gree and Bly. I'd love a Clone Wars Kit Fisto, the second version with the actual articulated legs. Same with Clone Wars Quinlan Vos. I almost called him Kit Fisto. There's some Astromechs I'd love, but I'm not huge into Astromechs. There's a lot of clones I'd love. I would love a Bayusk. I would love a Clone Wars Bayusk. Clone Wars Bayusk is, he's the vibes. And then I would love any of the actual good articulated Republic commandos, because I do have Scorch. I have the Saga Legend Scorch, and it would be on the top 10, but the legs are not articulated. I want the articulated versions of the Republic commandos. Same with, like, say, Starkiller, right? Starkiller would be on the top 10 too. And at one point, my Sith Stalker Starkiller would have been on the top 10. But I don't like that figure as much as I would, say, the Bounty Hunter Starkiller. I would love that figure in my collection. Or the Training Armor Starkiller, or whatever. And yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of figures still I would love in my Star Wars collection. Like, there's a lot. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this top 10. I'm pretty happy with this top 10. And if y'all like this vid, yeah, like, comment, sub, all that jazz, and yeah, take it easy, folks.